can give charity in form of medicine. And like being a doctor is like you're healing people. So you're getting ajir for that. Like you're doing a good deed.
Ajira.
Yeah.
Met my KE.
Think about like your religion. We've touched on a lot of positives and some negatives as well. I really want to talk about the matter of mental health and religion.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah?
okay.
Yeah.
Because, okay, the Catholic Church is changing. And right now we've gotten to a point where they are starting to become, the church I go to, they're starting to become more responsive to
Mental health.
issues of mental health.
Yeah.
I remember I was in church and the pastor was talking about people's depression, and I was like, and he was talking about it like it's an illness. And I was like, this is very progressive. But then we go to Shago and the pastor there is talking and I'm like,
Saying something else.
sir, I don't think that's very correct.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the stance of your religion on mental health?
I think Islam takes mental health seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason we pray 5 times a day is that we remember God 5 times a day. Throughout the day, you have to remember that there is a reason why everything is happening. And you always have to keep in mind that God knows everything and God only wants the best for you. So whenever I was... Okay, let me just say, when my mental health was in the pits, the only time I found solace was when I was deep in prayer, when I was like in sujood, when I had my head on the ground, is when I felt the closest to God. Because I was thinking, God can't let anything happen to me. I have to remember Him and do what I can. So that's when you're like, okay, so God will take care of that, and then I can take care of things on this side. Like I can go seek help. I can go talk to people. So as much as Islam is for mental health and like helping people through anxiety, depression, whatever is going on, you have to also take your like accountability for yourself, seeking help and stuff. Yeah. So there was I was actually at a Muslim career conference where all these doctors came, and there was a psychiatrist. She was a Muslim lady. She was talking about how mental health in Islam is so important that it made her become a psychiatrist.
Wow.
To bring people
That's cool.
closer to God. Bring people closer to God, because when you're really going through it
Yeah.
and you feel like there's such like hopelessness in everything, when you feel like it doesn't even matter what you do, the only person like you should remember is God.
It's God.
Yeah, so she was talking about how it's like charity as well. Like you're really giving yourself to these people.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of the guidance of them back to faith.
That's
And
a
then
good
faith,
calling.
faith
That is,
gives you energy too.
That's true.
Yeah, but then at the same time,
It's a double-edged sword.
suicide is haram.
I saw when I was doing my
suicide
research.
is haram. So you have to like really tread
There's
carefully.
a thin line.
Yeah, so if you're really like, if you feel like you have suicidal ideations,
What happens?
What
you
about that?
cannot
Body
go through with
when-
it. Like it doesn't matter.
You
You have to go
stay, bro.
seek help.
You have to stay.
Yeah.
So what happens when a Muslim like commits suicide?
That's so interesting that
Or
you're
it's
asking.
speculated that
There was a boy in my Isli, like outside the highway, like outside my estate.
you're just proving the Somali stereotype.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm actually so proud of it.
Yeah, that's
Love
good.
it.
But this boy jumped off the building, like a 16th floor building, and
Whoa.
he was 17.
And then Sakaja wants them to reach 30.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't get that.
Bro, that's so dark. I get it, but that is so dark.
And then I didn't know what his family was going through. Like I felt so bad for them, because the mental health is also, and like addiction is part of mental health. Addiction disorders, suicidal ideations, depression, anxiety, all these things are part of mental health. Anything that affects you mentally, that affects your physical health, is a mental illness.
That's true.
So this boy, I think he had an addiction. His parents did not take him seriously.
A substance addiction.
Yeah, substance
Okay.
abuse addiction. I don't know what they told him or anything, because I wasn't there, obviously. But it was so bad enough for him to jump and kill himself.
Do you think the reason you think Islam is very receptive to mental health issues is because you're a woman and it judges men differently?
This is where culture comes in again.
La, la, la,
Okay.
la, la.
Yeah. As much as Islam takes mental health seriously, culture-wise, my mom was that woman who was like, oh, next door there's this boy who has depression. And I was like, Mom, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a stigma, but that's part of the culture.
That's true.
It's cultural. That's why I said it before. I wish there was a distinction between culture and religion. Yeah, because right now, if I say, oh, I have anxiety, and I really did go through anxiety. There was a period that I was depressed in like first year.
Yeah.
Oh.
First year is
First year was rough.
First year is a
rough.
good
really
one.
test your limits.
Yeah, it really
I agree.
does. I feel like that's when I started, like, I went back to my faith. I was like, I'm feeling like nothing in this world can take care of how I am right now. The only way...
Din over dunya.
Yeah, Deen over Dunya, exactly. The only way to remember that...
You guys, I'm like, do you guys meet at a convention or something?
she was interested in Islam.
I was.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually like a thing. Like
Yeah,
like
there's
a
so
thing
many
you say.
reverts.
Din over
Yeah,
dunya.
Deen over Dunya.
Din
It means
over
no matter
dunya.
what, like Deen means
Religion over the earthly things.
Yeah.
Okay. Din over
That's why
dunya.
peer pressure doesn't affect me.
Okay.
But it affects other people.
It does.
I've seen so many
Din
people
over dunya.
like lose themselves and lose their faith in uni.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
find
true.
it
It's
really
quite common.
sad. I find it really sad.
Yeah.
Because you were your mom's favorite Muslim girl and now you're at a club.
Right?
Like, I find it
I've
so
actually
sad.
partied with
Oh
Muslims.
no.
But they
Oh,
drink.
no.
They don't drink at the when they go out.
Ah, la, 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 la.
I actually let me
I
hot
wonder.
take. I like going out with people who are Muslim because they don't drink, so they will take care of you.
There's people that do drink.
Take care of you how?
No, like when you're failing, they're making sure you're good, like you're not doing anything.
They're just
When
there
you-
for the music.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just there for the vibes.
Oh, and you
I've
said take
never-
care of you. I was confused.
I actually don't like
every-
going out in those kind of instances.
Really,
Yeah.
every Muslim I've ever, because the first club experience, this is crazy, I ever had was with a Muslim group.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, and
Well.
they were drinking Red Bulls because they can't drink. And I was
Give
like,
them wings.
whoa, the hijabis are coming out tonight. I missed the joke.
that's so sad.
And I was actually kind of shocked because I didn't know Muslims go out.
It makes me feel bad when I hear things like that
Really?
because they're not following the deen.
but
they're not
they're not
following
doing
their-
anything wrong.
They
They did
you
a lot.
shouldn't be exposed to such settings.
Mm-hmm.
And you said their clothes were off.
Wait, their clothes were off.
That's what she said.
No,
Wait, did you-
they
Like
were
their
dressed.
hijabs. Yeah,
the hijabs were
their
off.
hijabs were off.
They weren't wearing hijabs.
Yeah, like
I
modesty.
feel like if you
Oh.
go to Alchemist
Oh,
in a
and you
hijab, even Chalo will
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, where pande you?
yeah,
man.
Like-
Yeah.
I feel like if you're not doing your best to follow, I feel
Oh.
like that's sad. I find it sad. Whenever I'm going out, I was like, please don't invite me to anything that has alcohol or where there is like that wouldn't align to my morals or
Yeah,
my
that's
religion. Yeah, like it's better not to be exposed to it. Like I'm not even an extremist. Like I just find that that's what I'm comfortable
Oh,
with.
now you're leading to the final thing we have to discuss
Yeah.
before we leave, which is religious extremism.
Yeah.
Well.
How do you feel about religious extremists? These are your fully...
Allahu Akbar, guys.
Yeah.
I am so glad that came to mind. I'm so glad I didn't say it. Thank you.
I hope I'm not perpetuating any stereotypes.
No. You're not perpetrating any
You just
stereotypes. It's just that,
perpetuated the joke.
yeah, they just
I
see
thought
it
of
a
it
lot.
too.
They just see it a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
God is
your
great,
Christian extremists before we get to the Muslim extremists?
Again, it's false doctrine. It's a perfect example of false doctrine. Sometimes people are misguided by certain thoughts, certain interpretations of the word, things that they think are true but are not. I will not mention any names in this podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, so that we don't offend anyone. But I think they're misguided, you know? Not I think, I know they're misguided. And some doctrines are just outright false. And I've seen it multiple times. One example that I will mention is faith healing. You know, faith healing. You heard of it? Where
Explain.
you do not use conventional medicine because you believe that God is everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so someone will have some crazy infection, you know, blood infection, but they do not want to take any antibiotics because it's wrong.
But God made the
according to them.
antibiotic.
Exactly. I mean, he's the one who gave us the intelligence to create them.
I think I
Yeah.
didn't really
To make them.
understand the extreme of that until COVID.
Yeah.
And we had anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
Although-
people started saying their kids are not vaccinated from, and I was like,
Take your
Even
kids over
BCG.
there.
Yeah.
Take them
Although
away.
anti-vaxxers have always been there, and not all of them are for religious reasons. Some individuals
Yeah, some
had-
people think they cause autism.
Yes, some people
I've never
still
heard
think.
that.
Some people think
It's the
that
big
the,
one.
the vaccines that were created now have some rare side effects. In fact, I don't know if you've seen that article. AstraZeneca just pulled off.
the clot thing.
Yeah, because of blood clots that can cause disability and death. And here we
You
all.
know, I'm vaccinated.
I'm also vaccinated.
My sister
against-
sent that and I was like, no, what are you saying? I got the first and the second dose.
Like, you either die with the vaccine or with COVID.
Exactly.
You
so
die
had
with
to
or
choose.
without.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Like,
Yeah.
if it's your time,
Let me
it's your
tell you,
time.
I'm not even scared of death. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm going today, I'm going today. Like, it's so, you just have to believe everything
Yeah.
you've been
And
doing.
it can happen at any time.
It's true. It can happen at any time. So not all anti-vaxxers are there for religious
Yeah.
reasons. Others are just, plain misguided.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
think it causes autism. Others think it causes, failure to thrive, birth defects. I mean, there's just
Failure
a
to
lot
thrive
of
and they're not even breastfeeding.
I know, like it's just crazy. Yeah, but
There's
I'll
a
give you
lot
an
of
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to some place in Korea, and we were there on a medical camp. It was Christian, so it was a Christian medical camp. So we went there and we met a kid who didn't have any money, and he had like this crazy festering sore on his ankle. And when he was telling us his story, he'd actually been on some antibiotics, but because of the lack of money, he couldn't really like keep going with it. So we came together and we decided, let's changisha tupate pesa, because we didn't have it in our arsenal. We didn't have that in our inventory. So we decided to just, changisha at least and the hospital Maliza is round. And then we happened to be with a certain Christian group that I will not mention. This girl was like, you don't need that money, you don't need that medicine. No. Come, let's stand in prayer and you can heal this sore right now. Like that's the sort of stuff I'm
Like,
talking about.
What kind of responsibility would that person take if this
Exactly.
person died?
Yeah.
I think a lot of what you're discussing is rooted in poverty.
Yes.
And we haven't touched on the fact that, especially, I don't know about Islam because I don't know how far that goes, but Christianity is packaged and sold to the poor
Yeah.
it's an
for them
opioid.
to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you'll find this person who's saying we don't need the money. They need the money, but somehow they've been convinced
Yeah.
that you can pray it away. You can pray yourself
So
to
sad.
salvation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
is
I
kinda-
haven't seen that in Islam.
Yeah?
Because a lot of our things are like just free.
Yeah, you can pray yourself to salvation,
Yeah.
but you can't pray yourself to, Okay, you can't pray yourself to healing,
Yeah.
but at least do something about it.
I mean,
man.
I genuinely think that the body and the spirit are different, so you cannot pray yourself to healing. That's just me.
What does
I-
that mean?
Like you're sick and you just pray and you hold on to your faith and all of a sudden
You'll be
you're
fine.
good.
Yeah, that's.
Or you're
Like you'll just wake up and you're like, okay, I don't have AIDS
I'm good.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's
That
dumb.
doesn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
That's what
that
I'm
way.
saying.
Yeah,
I
but do
think the body
something
and the
about
spirit
it.
are too deep. You can nourish your spirit through prayer, but
Yeah.
sometimes I think when it comes to like bodily things and these, because your body is just a. Did you see that
Oh,
TikTok
you know
of
what's
that girl
funny?
saying your body is a vessel? Because your body is a vessel. Like
It's true though. You have to take. That's why we can't get tattoos as Muslim people.
Ooh.
Because our body doesn't belong to us.
That's
It's gonna
nice.
at the end of the day, it's gonna rot.
See, you can't
Wait.
even
To God.
tattoo. You can't
Oh,
even
this
tattoo
is-
like the
No.
Quran verse, a verse of the
No.
Quran. Damn,
this
that's
is
crazy.
interesting. So wait, when you guys end up, is it Jahannam?
Yeah, Jahannam.
Hell.
That's
Heaven.
heaven.
Oh,
Jahannam is hell, by the-
hell.
yeah.
Jahannam. Okay,
Jahannam.
Jahannam.
Jannah is
Jannah. When you
heaven.
guys end up in Jannah, do you go with your bodies?
Hey, Jannah.
You know.
Do you know? Oh my goodness! Before you even answer, let me tell you what the coolest thing is. When I made the realization that Kiswahili is derived from Arabic, and
Yeah.
like the prayer times,
Yeah.
those are like times. Does that make sense?
What do you
Okay.
mean? Okay, we are
I love that
digressing.
she's
We are
so
digressing, but we will allow it. We are
The
digressing,
prayer
but
you
we will
guys do
allow
at
it.
5 a.m. It's called
Al-Fajr.
Fajr.
Al-Fajr.
Al-Fajr.
Yeah.
Al-Fajr.
The prayer you guys do.
Al just means the.
The one after that. Now I
The
will go in
dawn.
order.
Uh-huh. Fajr.
So it's 5 a.m.
Yeah,
then
there's Fajr, Duhur.
Uh-huh.
Al-Duhuri next.
Duhur is Al-Duhur.
Yeah, it's
Oh, for real?
Al-Asiri next.
Al-Asiri. Let's go. Huh?
Al-Maghrib.
Magharibi because
Magharib.
that's where the sun is setting.
Yes. And Isha.
Maghrib.
Isha is now finished. Like
Yeah,
in the
it's the
last
night.
In
The
Isha.
You know,
night one.
after Maghrib, it's a new day.
Oh really?
English.
Okay, yeah,
Islam.
my mind is blown.
in Islam.
The day I made this
Can't
connection, I was like, wow.
Dude, in the Kenyan timing,
Makes
the 7 p.m. for
sense.
you guys in Swahili is
Samoja.
Samoja.
at 1. Why do you think the clock resets?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy. That one I
It
didn't know.
resets because it's a new day.
Bruh.
That one I didn't know.
Mic drop.
No, for real. And I always used to question because I'm like, why can't we start at 6? We usually start at 6.
Yeah.
Why are we starting at 7?
But
Yeah.
we were told sijui ati hiyo ni saa ya Kiswahili. That's how we were taught.
No, it's
Saa
because it's a new
Kiswahili.
day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It makes so much
Crazy.
sense.
I had asked you a question.
Is that
before I
Arabic
got carried
culture?
I don't
away.
remember. Sorry?
That's Arabic culture.
Yeah, it's Arabic
Oh,
culture.
makes
Because we're
sense.
all got influence from that. Even Somali language is like a mixture of Arabic, Swahili. Yeah. And I think some other languages that I'm not sure. Italian, because they colonized us.
Italian.
See, they were colonized
Oh
by
yeah,
FBI. You didn't know
Italian.
history.
That's why
Oh,
I-
Italian Somaliland. I saw it. I remember. Italian Somaliland.
That's why they like pasta.
FBI. Okay, so there are parts of Somalia that speak French.
French.
Yes, because the
Italian.
French were
France,
also there.
Britain.
Yeah.
In Italy, FBI.
There's some. My grandfather spoke Italian. You know, there's like a whole thing in my family where they're like, in our ancestry, somewhere there has to be like a white person.
Really?
I was like, I don't know. Because my mom is like light skinned. She's black, yes.
We need
Some
to
peop-
have an episode
Some
where
people
we talk
don't
about
think Somali
culture.
people are black.
For real?
And those some people are Somalis.
Somali, they were like, I'm Arab. I was like, huh?
Ew, brother, ew.
The first experience I had,
What's that,
I was
brother?
floored.
It makes me so annoyed because
I
you're
was
literally from
floored.
East Africa
I
and you
know.
don't think you're African.
Horn of Africa.
It's so annoying. Dude, I was saying before
Yeah,
we
we've been digressing.
Yeah, I was about to say you can give charity in form of medicine, and like being a doctor is like you're healing people, so you're getting ajir for that. Like you're doing a
Okay.
good deed.
Ajira.
Yeah.
Nah, kill
So you can go on a whole like giving charity like sadaqah thing where you go and you have like a medical camp. Yeah, a few months ago I was in Isiola. Like we had a whole week where we were doing like free surgeries, free treatments for everything, free medicine.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, because I think they were sponsoring, but it was so wholesome. Like we would all pray together, like the people who volunteered, the doctors and the patients. I was like, it doesn't matter like the financial status. Like at the end of the day, I'm standing in line with this person
Yeah.
in prayer.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt so wholesome.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very lovely.
So, do you get ajir? for
Yeah,
that?
you get ajir,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
from being kind even. Like you're getting good deeds. I was like, how can we miss in this religion?
Like you can't miss. Shorty, don't
Yeah.
miss. Okay, so as
okay.
we come to
Oh, it was religious extremism.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we're talking
yes,
about.
yes,
I'm telling you,
yes,
we
yes.
digressed. I'm like,
We've gone far.
at your duhuri.
We've talked about everything.
Anyway, yeah, but yeah, they are misguided.
No, she was talking
Yeah.
about
Talk about
extreme.
religious
Yeah,
extremism. Yeah,
I feel like every culture, every religion has extremist views.
That's true.
Can I throw you?
One.
I throw you Al-Shabaab.
Oh,
I
no.
was gonna say it. You didn't even have to ask me. You know,
They
these
literally called the boys,
these
man.
people,
America.
these
That's
people.
Al-Qaeda.
Wewe
That's
utakatoliwa
Al-Qaeda,
peke yako. That is views of Jason alone.
I know.
Hey,
No,
why
but
you
also,
dropping
but
it?
also Al Qaeda. So
You know what's funny is like a lot of these extremist groups are getting funding
from
America.
Yeah.
So
Shooting
at-
themselves in the foot.
yeah, so why like they're getting paid like they're paying ISIS, they're paying Al Shabaab.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how deep the system everything goes, but it's like they're paying this like these people have extremist views on certain things.
yeah.
Like Al Shabaab will be like, oh my God, we believe in God, we believe in this, we believe in Islam, but in the same breath they're doing rape. They're robbing people. They're
Yeah.
pillaging.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to accomplish in this
Nothing.
religion when you're only following certain things?
Yeah, that's true.
I really don't. That's why I don't support like so many extremist groups. Not that I would ever support extremist groups, but
You go, sister.
disclaimer, allegedly.
Allegedly. Huh? Wait, so you allegedly will never support?
I was
It's a legend.
period. No,
English is a very interesting language. I wonder.
no, it's just a putting a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's like they're just doing like things that fit their narrative,
Agenda.
Yeah,
their
that's true.
agenda.
The
And
narrative.
then other like countries with money, let me not even drop names, will be like, oh, like this, we're gonna get the oil from this country now.
Yes, the
If we,
oil.
if
This
we
is now
do,
Iraq you're talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
with the whole
And
ISIS
Kuwait.
thing and stuff.
Okay.
Well, like if you think about it, like they are splitting up Muslim countries. Can you think of any Muslim country that's in peace right now?
Saudi. No.
yeah.
Saudi.
Is Dubai a Muslim country?
Dubai, I
UAE.
don't even know what's going on.
UAE.
Okay.
UAE.
Dubai is even worse than America sometimes.
What?
Have you guys ever been to Dubai?
No.
There are literally prostitution everywhere.
Oh.
There is drinking alcohol everywhere.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There is like, what aspect of morality of Islam are you guys following? Like, or is this not a Muslim country anymore?
It's
So
all
the
about the
only
money.
remaining Muslim countries I can think of that are kind of steady, I
Yemen
would
is
say Morocco.
gone.
Yemen is screwed up.
Yeah,
man.
Morocco is trying, but then
Yeah.
like they have
Egypt.
extreme poverty as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Egypt now is with this whole free Palestine. But I had
You
to,
don't see your face. Free Palestine.
period.
Period.
Yeah. So, but then right now Egypt is going down because they're supporting Palestine. So it's like no country is in peace.
They're supporting Palestine or Israel?
Palestine.
Egypt is with
Oh,
Palestine.
okay,
The only
okay.
people supporting
So they're
Israel
black
is
Okay.
the white people who are giving them free healthcare. Like,
Make
I
it
don't-
make sense.
It's
It
that,
doesn't
it's
make
that democracy,
sense.
yo. It's that democracy.
it doesn't make. I feel like a lot of religious basis for these first world countries is financial. It's
Capitalism really
financial.
came to destroy. The
Yeah.
new world order is crazy. It's very crazy
Yeah.
because capitalism is just it's making religion really lose its flavor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lose its appeal, and I don't know.
It really is. That's why I really like Islam. There is. If I'm poor, I'm still a good Muslim. If I'm rich, I'm still a good Muslim.
You know, that's something I noticed in Christianity. We have rules for the poor, but we don't have rules for the rich.
What do you
Oh,
mean?
what is that?
Define that.
We see in Islam,
I've never seen that.
it's okay, from my understanding, you
Okay.
can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay for you to be the wealthiest man as long as you're doing your due diligence, as long as you're giving to the you're doing your charity work, as long as you're going to Mecca, as long as you're fasting during Ramadan, you're doing everything correctly.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a rich Muslim. It's on the other end, it's also okay for you to be a slave, because I know your religion says everybody is where they are for a reason. Something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Us, we have it's okay to be poor, because happy are those they will inherit the kingdom of God.
That's
Okay.
a beatitude, okay?
Yeah.
And then
Matthew
we don't
5.
have it's okay to be rich and be faithful. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody
Oh.
says the rich
So rich
The
people.
rich, yeah,
The rich
it's
people are
you're not
evil.
a good person because you
You-
have money.
How much harder is it for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God? It is
Than-
easier for
Exact-
a camel to enter.
But the
Exactly.
entire premise of that particular term,
Not that
was-
scripture itself. Even if you use that
Context
and
is
look
important.
through the whole Bible, it's not okay. Okay, not okay, but
Happy
it's
are
not
they?
been
Wait,
written.
what did you say initially? The beatitude you quoted, what was it?
Is it happy are the poor, for they will inherit the kingdom of heaven?
Spiritually poor.
There's a difference.
Happy are the spiritually poor.
They put the word spiritual.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Matthew 5.
But then, okay, even if you take away from that, you're told people who in the Bible who are kind of poor will be delivered
Will
from their
be-
poverty.
Well,
They will.
yeah.
You see, they're not saying it's a problem to be poor, which is fine,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also not saying it's okay for you to be rich.
Mm.
That's my thing. Because with
You know, in
But it's
Islam,
hard.
we don't believe that we'll keep wealth for a long time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm rich right now, I could be poor tomorrow. Like there is no guarantee that you'll
That
have
you
money.
always have that.
Yeah. So you should always give, because imagine if it was you on the other side. So
Yeah, same to us. It's the whole premise of giving a lot of, what do you call it, priority to wealth is what is looked down upon.
because
That's
you
why there's
become
an...
obsessive.
Yeah, because you become obsessive with it. It's not that it's bad to be rich, but if you become obsessed with
what
your
I'm
wealth...
saying is, in the Bible,
Yeah.
the rich people are there are no laws for them, because even in the Old Testament, when they would have parties and everything, the parties would be for the kings and the big, and then the slaves would come there. But then there are no regulations for the rich people.
There are, actually. There are parables that were given regarding that. Regarding the entire... There's a parable of the rich man, guy who thought, I have all this wealth. I will build granaries and more granaries. And then the Lord was like, you know what? Tomorrow, your soul will go.
Are you
You're
seeing?
dead.
Now God is punishing him for being rich.
Because he was... Not because he was rich. Because he gave a lot of emphasis to his wealth.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... The problem is not the wealth.
He was
The problem is
neglecting
he
religion.
neglected God and started giving all his
Maybe I need to
energy
read that
the wealth.
parable, because
Yes.
from that explanation, I'm not. It's like we're not understanding each
Yeah,
other.
yes. But the whole premise of the parable was this is a rich man who has all the wealth in the world. Yeah? All the wealth in the world, very rich. But he's forgotten that there's a God who gave him that wealth.
Now you're hearing he's being punished.
Yes, because he has
God is
lost
not
priority.
giving him the chance to still continue to praise him even in the midst of his wealth.
But he was not praising God. That's the premise of that parable.
Okay, so now from this you've chucked the group of rich people who are not praising God. We have rich people who are praising God.
Praising God, actively.
They are not talked about.
Abraham was very rich. He gave
Abraham
10%
started
of all his... Yes, Abraham, he was very rich. In fact, he gave 10% of all his wealth. In fact, he was so blessed. This guy was extremely blessed. And he still gave 10% of all his possessions to Melchizedek. This was an example of a rich man who was giving to God and praising him through his wealth. Abraham was a very rich man. Second person, Joseph, governor in Egypt.
The one with 12 kids.
Not the one with 12 kids. Oh, Job. I mean, perfect example. Job
Being cooked.
Job was blessed. I mean, yeah, Joseph was son of Jacob. Jacob was a guy with 12 kids, yeah? But Joseph was blessed in Egypt. Look at Job. Job was extremely rich, lost everything. And after he lost everything, he stayed steadfast to God. And when he was done with all that suffering, God gave him double of everything. Double of everything back. And he still became really...
is double-edged.
Yeah.
Because the way the premise is set up is the devil, okay, or the accuser in this case,
Yeah.
pulls up to God and is like, hey, man, see that
If you
guy
take it
over there,
away,
man?
he will curse you to your face.
He's way too rich. He probably only cares because he got that money. He got
Exactly.
That mushroom like that. So take it away and let's see what he'll do.
Exactly.
But it was like, you know what? I bet took it away. And
What's
You know,
for a
the
moment, Job
stance?
almost gave up.
Yeah.
For a
Being-
second, he almost gave up.
Yeah. But
And then
because
God
his
is-
friends gave him very
Yeah.
twisted advice and his wife. And he was
His wife
human
cast
after all.
him.
He told him, why don't you curse God and die? I mean, it
Hey.
was crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's story, that's a very interesting story.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, that's a very interesting
That's
Wait,
story.
That's
what's the
terrible.
stance on Islam
Being
and
rich?
suffering?
Being rich.
Yeah,
I
but,
wanted to add something to that.
yeah,
Okay.
but we were just saying
Yeah,
the stories.
I think being rich in Islam is kind of shaky, wonky, because with wealth comes arrogance, and arrogance is haram.
Exactly.
Like you can't be arrogant and go to heaven
True.
and think you're better than people. So
Oh.
I don't know what the exact stance is, but
Yeah.
I think being disgustingly wealthy is
No, not the
disgusting.
stance on wealth, the stance on suffering.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
suffering.
Christianity is built heavily on
Fetishizes
suffering.
On
Yes.
suffering.
suffer in
On
what way?
suffering.
Like, if you suffer like this, God will love you more.
Yeah,
Or-
or
Sometimes
you
it
suffer
looks that
in
way.
a way to pacify yourself and make yourself closer to God. Like you see how they're saying
fasting.
the story of
Isn't
Job.
that extremism now?
That's
because
extremism, yeah.
I don't think God would be happy with you suffering. Yeah, I don't think Islam supports that.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's the premise of fasting? Why do you fast?
Or it's to remember the poor.
Oh,
It's to remember the poor.
Oh wow!
yeah,
Yeah,
when
that's
you're
good.
hungry is when you can be like
The
relate.
most,
Relate to the people outside. Like it also comes back to charity and the poor,
oh,
because
that's
we're all
good.
one. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's very
Yeah.
lovely.
And when you're
Oh.
fasting, you feel like you're abstaining from all haram things. You're abstaining from music. You're abstaining from the opposite sex, I guess. Like if
That
you,
took me by surprise.
yeah.
Because
Oh, for
there
real?
was a
Yeah.
No
yeah,
sex during
For a
that time?
month, you
No,
can't touch anyone.
not even that. There was
Touching
somebody
rules,
I
huh?
was talking to. He's Muslim.
Yeah.
And Ramadan started. I didn't know that you're not
He's like, don't touch me.
Bro.
don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
This nigga didn't even look in my direction.
Hey.
I was walking past him. He was just
He's like,
staring straight
Assalamu
ahead.
alaikum, bye.
I am so happy. I am so happy she's saying these things. Because I was thinking them, I was like, if I say this, I'll be cancelled. But she's saying them for me. Thank you,
You're
honey.
welcome. You're
Thank you so much.
Gender thing. I was like, okay, he doesn't hate me. It was just Ramadan.
Yeah.
I find it so weird when people only do the right things during Ramadan or when they're fasting.
I
Because
know.
like every other day, you're hugging the opposite sex. But then when Ramadan comes, you're like, not even handshake. I was like, So you thought they were okay before?
Double
But
standard.
from an
Double
outsider
standard.
looking
But at
in,
least they're trying. Like at the end of the day, they're trying.
I've seen a lot of people say, because you find even babes, they're not hijabi, and then Ramadan comes around
And they
and
put
they're
it on.
hijabs.
Yeah.
And they say it's because you guys call it the holy month of
Ramadan, yeah.
and it's supposed to renew your faith. So
You know,
if your faith,
you know what's interesting is Ramadan is they say all the jinns are locked up. So if you do anything haram, it's because you're a jinn. Like it's because you want to do those things. It's not because the devil is influenced.
this is your own.
This is your own action.
Wow.
So when
jinns
end
you
of the
live,
day, like when we're all like standing in line and we're answering like the consequences of our actions, we can't just be like, oh no, it was Satan.
It was the devil.
Like the devil's like, I was in hell.
I was booked and busy.
I was locked up. I wasn't there.
The
So it's
devil
like
be like, bro, what did I do?
people. So everyone will do the correct. Like people who didn't pray before will pray during Ramadan. Like that's how important Ramadan is. They all of a sudden they'll pray properly. They'll be modest. They'll like abstain from all haram things. Like I wouldn't listen to music for the entire 30 days. Astaghfirullah. And then when the month ends,
What is that word?
astaghfirullah, God forgive me.
Added to my vocabulary.
Please
Astaghfirullah.
make Muslim friends, man.
Astaghfirullah. No.
Have a Muslim girl ever told you, mashallah?
Yes. Once.
There's
First
a
year,
Muslim girl who called me beautiful and then
Hey,
she said,
mashallah.
I was like,
That's how
do you
you
want to come
know.
meet my mom?
That's how you know. It's
Oh,
game.
for real?
Yeah,
That's why
it means,
it's game.
Mashallah is like, I would like that. Something like that.
it means like, may God not take it away from you.
Okay.
Like
I
you,
didn't know that.
girl, you're so fine. May God never take that away.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mashallah meant.
Noted.
Okay.
It's so, like whenever I give compliments, like, oh, mashallah. Like if I buy a new bag and you're like, oh my God, that's such a nice bag, mashallah.
Oh, you're so beautiful, mashallah.
Mashallah.
Yeah. You can also say Allahumma barik, which means like God bless.
Let me ask you, you see, for
Oh, my
us, we
Lord.
have 10 commandments.
Yeah.
And the first one is to not use God's name in vain. You guys, like you see how we're saying mashallah.
Yeah.
You were like astaghfirullah, bismillah.
It all comes back to the fact that it's God. At the end of the day, it's Allah. It has to be present in all our aspects. Before we drink
May
water,
God manze.
we have to say Bismillah. Like, in the name of God, I'm drinking this water. If I'm going to bed, Alhamdulillah. Like, I'll read my recitations. If I'm going to the toilet, there's a dua. When you're putting on new clothes, there's a dua. Like, there is
Wow.
like, everything you do, we have to remember
He's
God.
involved.
Yeah. I
That's
think
nice.
that's where a lot of religions are so different from Muslim, like Islam,
Yeah,
from Muslim
true,
people.
true, true. I
Because
agree.
no matter what we're doing, if I'm getting in a car, there's a dua. If
For
I'm
it.
looking in the mirror, there's a dua.
What's
if I'm cooking,
the stuff that like beads that you guys used
Yeah.
to pray? What's that? I've always wanted to ask.
they're just beads to like if you're reciting
Okay.
something, like if you're saying astaghfirullah, God forgive me, God forgive me. There's a certain number of times you're supposed to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw some lady.
So you guys have the necklaces.
The rosary.
The rosary.
Yeah, but no, I wanted
Oh,
to
it's
see if it's
necklaces.
the
Yeah,
same.
Right.
but then now people have updated. There's like a clicky thing, like you click.
Oh.
I don't think I have it with me today. Yeah, I don't think so. But I usually have it with me.
Okay.
Especially during Ramadan. But like you're in the car. Because like everything is doubled in Ramadan and like the sins are gone. So it's like you can only go up. And you're so happy. The only thing that ruins my Ramadan is med school. When I tell you
I know. Boom.
She said.
but it's
Mic drop.
so true. Like you expect me in the ward at 6:30 and
How?
it doesn't make any sense
Which
and I'm
rotation
fasting.
is that?
6th year syndrome, bro. Like
Ooh.
6 years bad.
Brother.
6 years bad.
Oh my god.
At 7 a.m. Like you can't miss anything. You can't miss anything.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
like
It's
so it was
the
a
last
lot
year.
of people covering up for me and stuff because I wasn't there mentally.
That means your social
Mentally, I
game
was in
outside of
Mecca, you
Ramadan
know.
needs
Yeah,
to be big.
I was in the mosque.
Cause I want to see my Jesus.
But this has been such a
someday.
good episode. I feel like we've touched on
Everything.
literally everything.
Yeah,
I
that's
hope
true.
we answered a lot too.
If you were having questions on like religion
Yeah.
and I
It's
hope
our
we've
Twitter.
satisfied.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Ask,
course.
ask.
What's the view of prayers in Christianity? Like, how often do you guys remember God? Because I told you, like, we remember God all the time. So, but I've seen people that only pray when they have someone sick.
Yeah.
People when they're going through something tough. So, what's the
Yes.
aspect of prayers in?
Let me
Religion.
answer from, I don't want to use the word heathen, but like from somebody who kind of strayed away a bit from the religion and then coming
no.
back. From my understanding, the Christian religion is not big on remembering God. Especially, I would say, the Catholic community. It makes it a personal initiative. So you see how you guys are mandated to pray 5 times a day by the
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah.
us, it's more of a personal thing. Do you want to read the Bible? Do you want to pray? Do you want to remember God in this moment? Do you want to, even things like thank God, like those are things that are reserved. You see how you said Bismillah, then you drink water. In the name of God, I'm drinking this water.
Yeah.
For us, it would be just a short prayer before the meal, not before the water. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Christianity, it's very, very, it's a personal initiative. It's not linked directly.
So how do you
to
know
the
you're going in
religion.
the right direction?
You don't.
Hmm.
Okay. You use your own moral compass, which is crazy. Ooh.
Is that how do we put this? Okay, regarding the whole aspect
How do you
of
know you're a
prayers,
good Christian?
regarding the whole aspect of prayer, we are encouraged to pray continuously. That's in Thessalonians 5:17, First Thessalonians, if I'm not wrong. But you see now the whole basis of praying continuously.
Yeah.
It can be every hour of the day. It can be
every second.
That's a
it can be
lot.
every minute.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a lot.
so
It's not
it's subject.
defined.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
not properly defined. Like no one tells you to wake up 3 times a day. You know, that's a cultural
Because
thing.
you guys
Yeah.
have your Al-Fajr prayer is
Yeah.
at this time
Yes.
of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is not really put that way. But you have examples of individuals like Daniel who used to pray 3 times a day, you know. But that's not
It's,
a
I feel like
I
it's
would-
more of a suggestion.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't know what to do if I was a Christian.
Prayer is important.
It's important,
but
but
how to do it, we've been taught how to pray.
Yeah.
That's in the Lord's Prayer. We've been encouraged to do it as many times as we can.
Yeah.
But no one has said do it 5 times a day.
It's
10
your
times
own
a day.
volition.
Yes.
Which is
That's,
very, like you said,
that's
you
very
wouldn't know what
dangerous.
to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you get overwhelmed.
and you only
because
go to church
stray.
once a week.
Yeah.
Although you can go
I know there's
multiple
people
times.
who go a
but
lot. There's
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
go for like daily mass. My mom goes for like daily mass and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which means that that's why I was mentioning this thing about
It's
water will
tricky,
change.
yeah.
It's very spread out and it's shallow. So it's
I
extremely
feel
wide,
like
but it's
Christianity
very
is very
shallow.
not fragmented, but like there's so many.
It is
variations.
fragmented.
Yes.
It
Maybe
is.
that's
so many
why there's lack of
variations.
community, like you're mentioning, lack of
Exactly.
churches.
Yeah,
Because we don't
our
have
doctrines
things in
can
common.
split us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if you all came together and you were like, okay, we're one Christian religion.
But it's
Exactly.
difficult because now there's different agendas.
yeah,
The-
it all comes back to capitalism.
Exactly.
It really
There's-
sucks. It
There's,
really
there's
sucks.
different
Yeah.
agendas.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
The way
That's
they
so
explain
true.
it,
And also
Yeah.
we've
it's just like Christianity builds it on like the entire premise is it's a very personal relationship.
With God, yes.
So you get to choose how you're gonna conduct your own relationship.
Mm.
If you're gonna choose to holler at God like a roadman, like
Hey, yo, God,
Bro,
I'm
what do you
here.
want? Sup, God?
Man.
Yeah.
If that's how you're gonna call him and that's how you're gonna talk
Yeah.
to him, then yeah, you do you. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, the way they put it, it's completely personal.
Now that it's personal, my second question is why is alcohol
Because-
so normal
Ah.
in Christianity? Because I know
Why?
I've been
Why?
told that it's haram for you guys too, like it's not prohibited.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But then why is it so normalized?
So
Because let me take this one.
okay.
Because even during celebrations, like you're celebrating Christmas and you're drinking.
Yeah.
So it's like
Just say
you're
it fast.
remembering
Say it and
religion
then I'll
and
cover
you're
it.
sinning at the same time.
Because in Christianity, it's not. Even in Islam, it's not a sin to drink. It's a sin to get drunk. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We cannot drink
They cannot drink
at all.
At all.
At all.
Really? Okay,
If
from what
I have
I've
a
been
sip
told.
of alcohol, my prayers will not be accepted for 40 days.
Huh?
Whoa!
It's that
Bruh.
serious. It's
Bruh.
that serious.
Bro.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But in
crazy.
Imagine you drink
Christianity-
before Ramadan. It's like, oh no, the entire one is gone. You have to keep praying.
Schedule your
No, like
drinking.
you have to keep praying that God accepts it, even though we've been told like 40 days we won't get accepted. So it's like you have to pray for God to accept.
Yeah, like you know,
So it's like a whole
Wow.
like just don't do it.
amekata kusikiza for 40 days.
Like what are you supposed to do in 40 days?
But with us, it's more of it's very enshrined in our culture as Christians to drink. Because Jesus' first miracle was water to wine.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cana
So-
of Galilee.
Yeah, and then you'll find. I think, without saying, it's a sin to be drunk, but it's not a sin to drink because of Noah.
But you guys
no,
don't follow that either. Not to me, no. I got too comfortable.
No, that I can agree on. Like, but then again, as what Kanana mentioned, yeah, you're right. Alcohol is not necessarily the best thing.
Yeah.
But on our end, like, it's bad to get drunk. It's not bad to drink,
Okay.
But again, like, alcohol is also looked down upon. In
Yeah.
fact, in Proverbs, it said, let those who are suffering take alcohol to end their misery. Like, that's literally
That's
the
so
entire premise.
sad,
That's the entire
yeah.
job of alcohol,
Sad.
But getting drunk is a problem. Drinking is not. In fact, I think Timothy was told to take a bit of wine. It's good for the stomach. It has its own health benefits.
Like if it's medically,
Yeah, it's had
Can
its
you
own
guys
health.
do that
Wine.
if it's
if
medically?
a doctor was like, "Oh, you can live,"
Take
You
a
can
shot.
take a bit of wine.
I
need
have to
some
go. I have to
tequila.
go to the
Take a
church.
tequila.
I mean, the mosque.
Take
I
a
have
bit
to
of
go to the mosque
wine.
and be like, "Sheikh, I've been told this." But like,
Really?
we should take our health very seriously.
Yeah.
Actually, now that every time I want to end, something just comes
Religion
out.
never
I know.
ends.
Yeah, it never ends. It's
You see how
an
you said
ongoing conversation.
if you got like a prescription to drink liquor to make you feel better, you have to go to the sheikh. If the sheikh says no, does he override the doctor's opinion?
No,
So then why are you going to see him?
because we
Can you
need
have
a
women
religion.
sheikhs?
I think they're called ustadas.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
ustadas. Like they're
Oh, ustada.
yeah.
It's also in Kiswahili, ustad.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A woman who's knowledgeable
Yeah.
Okay.
in religion. You can also go to them. Yeah,
Uh-huh,
they can teach you Quran and stuff and like about the religion.
Okay.
I prefer those ones to teach our little girls because I don't.
Yeah.
Let me not say what I was about to say.
Because I was also avoiding that when he was talking.
Yeah.
What was I about to say?
Yeah, but then
What
that's
is
where
being avoided?
the transplant with the like pig corneas and
Mm-hmm.
pig hearts and stuff. There's so much controversy.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I need to think about that. I need to sit down.
But what
and I
did,
think about
what did
this.
pigs do, though?
Pigs are deadly.
They're
Even in
dirty.
Christianity.
They're
not supposed to eat them
dirty.
technically.
See,
That
weren't
was
the-
in
weren't
Leviticus.
the demons driven into the pigs
But
Yeah.
then,
in our religion?
but then Jesus said, everything that he makes clean is clean for you to eat.
That was
as long-
Acts 10.
Yeah,
Acts
as long as
Yeah.
in our religion, as long as you pray for it and it's spiritually clean, have fun.
Spiritually clean, but demons were driven into pigs.
You go enjoy your shit.
Pigs are terrible. They
yeah,
bring
they were
so much
driven into pigs.
diseases too.
Ah,
Like scientifically, they bring so much diseases.
Oh.
They
Microbiome.
eat their
Microbe.
own. They eat their own like dead. They
Yeah,
eat
that's
their
true,
own
that-
miscarriages. They eat feces.
true.
Like everything they eat is just nasty.
It's just nasty.
So why would you want to eat that?
It's amazing, your pork ribs. Oh, but oops. Yeah, but
But this
Yeah.
has been a very I've tried to end this episode like 10 times.
I've had so much fun.
same. Thank
This
you so
was
much
such
for
a good.
coming.
We need to have you back.
Yeah, we need to have
Please
you back.
do. I've had so much fun.
Season
Yeah.
1 and season 2 need to have an episode with her in it.
Yes,
like
I
this
agree.
is just.
I
I
agree.
like the vibes. I like
Yeah,
your energy.
thank you
so
much.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Come again.
I've had so
Come
much
again.
fun.
We will
Come
have you
again.
again.
Please do.
You can count on that.
I'm not
Yeah.
just Kip's friend anymore. I'm all of you.
Yes, you're a friend of the pod.
Let's go.
So yeah,
Elhan
thank you
Abdi.
so much for coming.
Thank you so
and thank you so much for listening to us today. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been MedMike KE. We just want to give a shout out, acknowledgements to AQ Studios, where we are recording. And we also want to acknowledge Late Night Letters, a blog writing from a scriptwriter, Henry Madaga. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Be on the lookout for our next episode. Follow us on our socials, medmike.ke, and we'll drop the link for Late Night Letters by Madaga. And till next time, guys.
Bye.
Met my KE.
How do you feel about religious extremists? These are your fully...
Allahu Akbar, guys.
Yeah.
I am so glad that came to mind. I'm so glad I didn't say it. Thank you.
I hope I'm not perpetuating any stereotypes.
No. You're not perpetrating any
You
stereotypes.
just
It's just that
perpetuated the joke.
yeah, they just
I
see
thought
it
of
a
it
lot.
too.